Drills Talk, episode 28. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to become an expert. This is based off of a blog I wrote entitled Be an Expert. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story about this HVAC specialist. So this HVAC specialist comes to this guy's house and he says, okay, I'm here. What's the problem? The guy says, I don't know. It's just making a lot of noise every time it comes on and I don't know how to fix it. The guy goes into the room, takes out his hammer, bangs on the furnace, and the sound stops and the AC runs perfectly. The guy looks in amazement and the HVAC specialist hands him a bill for $500. The guy goes crazy. He says, what, $500? He's like, whoa. My service fee is $100 and the other $400 was for knowing where to hit it. Drills Talk, episode 28. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to become an expert. Before we do that, please like, subscribe, join the channel, join the movement. Every Monday, new blog. Every Wednesday, new vlog. Every Friday, new beat produced by Drills, aka me. So let's get right into it. Number 1. Number 1 is to focus on you. Now, I don't know how many times I hear, oh, well, it must be nice being them, or, oh my goodness, I can't believe these athletes make so much money, or why does these entertainers make so much money? Why are you worried about other people doing something that you would love to be doing, which is making money because they're an expert? Now, your job is to become one, not to worry about others. Those athletes are experts. They've been playing that sport since they were pretty much walking, and now they make millions because people pay money to watch them do it. Entertainers make music, and people are entertained, and they go to their concerts and pay money to watch them. Now, what skill do you have that people will pay money for? What's the answer? Is there an answer? And if there's not an answer, then all you have to do is pick something that you enjoy and become an expert at it. All experts get paid. It don't matter what your expertise is in. You can be an excellent painter. You can be an excellent, construction worker, and construction workers get paid, but I'm an expert in demolition. Okay, well, guess what needs to be done before any job ever starts? That. So you'll be employed. Think about what you enjoy doing. Become an expert in it. Focus on you. It's not about what others are doing. Yes, there's other people making money. There are people who are expert jugglers and perform and get paid. There are people who are doing things that you may not think is that great, but they stuck with it. They became the expert. They're the go-to person. There's talking heads on TV that you're like, well, I can sit down and talk about sports. Why are they on TV? Again, worry about yourself. Those people who are on TV, who knows what they were doing before they got on TV? They were beat writers. They were, paying their dues and schmoozing and rubbing shoulders and elbows with people who put them on TV and gave them their chance. And when they got their chance, they killed it. And now they're on TV every morning, every afternoon, every night. And they're not there because of, their good looks or, their great sense of humor. They're there because they paid their dues. They're actually good at what they do. They keep you watching. You see them on TV every day, and if you didn't turn to it, you wouldn't. So it's something about them that's making you come back, and you're not the only person coming back. Those ratings are showing that this person that's a talking head to you is very entertaining, and we're going to pay them to talk about sports just as you do with your friends for absolutely nothing. Focus on you. Please do. Number 2. Number 2 is to focus on the skill. What is it that you want to do? Study that to the fullest. Become obsessed with it. Obsession has like a negative connotation, but some things deserve obsession. And one thing that does deserve it is your skill that you want to become, an expert in. What is it that you want to become an expert in? There's plenty of information out here. We're in the information age. Anything you want to know about, you can learn about. And you can get good at it, very good at it, because there's enough information and enough people who've probably done it already that you can get very good fairly quickly and then find your little niche to become a super expert in, and then you can, sky's the limit there because you're the only person who does that. You innovated that part of that skill, and people need that. So how are you going to get there? You're not going to get there by talking about other people. You're not going to get there by saying, oh, that's nice, or, oh, I'll never get that break that they got. How would you know? What chance have you given yourself to get that break? What dues have you paid? What crappy job in the industry that you're trying to excel in have you taken to then work your way up? I'm guessing you have not. I really hear people say, oh my goodness, I paid my dues, I've done this, I've done that, I've worked with this person, I've did some favors for that person, and I've got nothing. You know why? Because that never happens. That never happens. You're going to come across one good person that'll probably help you for nothing that you help, and they reach back, and now you got that connection. And you can always get that connection. And if they are doing very well, they can probably throw you a bone. But we're stuck on saying, oh, well, that'll never happen to me, or I can't believe that happened to them, instead of getting very, very good. The cream rises to the top. And there's some people that will pay for the expert regardless. They're continuously paying for the expert because they are not an expert. They're not going to give that much time and effort into something or obsess about something that you could have because you already love it. You already like it. You can already see yourself doing it. It doesn't feel like work when you do it. So, okay, obsess with it. Like, that's all this guy talks about. That's all this girl talks about. Oh my goodness, they're just blah, 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 blah all the time. Okay, well, guess who's the expert in that? Guess who's getting paid for their opinion in regards to that skill or that realm or that, industry? You are. And it's so worth it. And I'm going to tell you why it's worth it in number 3. Number 3 is the perks. So number 3 is to sell yourself on the perks. Experts get paid just because they're experts. And I'm going to take an athlete just because, it's very easy to point out the example that I'm giving with an athlete. You see these athletes in these commercials. It's not because they're great actors. It's because you associate them with mastery. You associate them with expertise. You associate them with excellence. And whether you know it or not, you associate everything that's associated with them as excellent or mastery. Or a high level of skill or a certain level of coolness. You aspire to be near them, like them, or them. So because of that, you might see a Sprite can in their hand. Pepsi might throw a Pepsi can in their hand. You also see the insurance companies, car companies. It's like, hey, you saw that car ad with such and such in? Yeah, it's my favorite player. The car was nice too. Would the car have been that nice if some other player that you didn't like that much was in it? Would it be that great if it was just some random actor that, that was their first commercial? Maybe, but maybe not. You probably won Sprite because you saw LeBron with Sprite. All the way back, you saw Drake in a Sprite commercial. You're like, yeah, I don't really like Sprite, but, let me try it. What are you buying Sprite for? You don't even drink Sprite. Oh, well, saw the Drake commercial and blah, 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 blah. And before you know it, you do like Sprite. Sprite loves that. They paid Drake for that. Drake might not even drink Sprite. Who knows? You don't know. I saw a joke with Dave Chappelle. He was like, I've endorsed Pepsi and Coke. And they asked him, which one tastes better? He was like, well, Pepsi paid me last, so it tastes better. Yeah, that's how it works. He's not an expert in soda. Like, he can't tell you what the best tasting soda is, but he's very popular. He's known for being very funny. People see him and they think of laughter, or they feel good or start to chuckle when they see him. And okay, well, hey, he's drinking a Coke. Or hey, he's drinking a Pepsi. And when I'm laughing and feeling good, hey, maybe I should drink a Coke or Pepsi. Those are the perks. Let's take it out of entertainment. Let's say everybody's not an entertainer, and I understand that. So let's take that out. Let's say you are a scholar. So everybody, all of us who went to college, and saw these guest speakers are not coming to speak for free. these guest speakers that you're going and sitting in an auditorium and listening to because you were required to, because your class said if you don't, you're going to fail. These people are getting paid to speak to you, and they're dropping some information. I've got a lot of information from, some speakers that I did not want to sit through, hearing them talk, but they actually knew what they were talking about. Actually got the story from the opening of this show from one of those sit downs, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I understand that guy was the expert. The other dude who was at the house, he didn't know where to hit the furnace and he didn't fix it, but the other guy did, and he made $500 for 15 seconds of work. That's how it works. So these people who are scholars or experts in their field, whether it be engineering or whether it be, business or whatever it is, they're speaking $500,000, $5,000, $10,000, sometimes more, speaking engagements. And it's like, okay, I'm going to talk about what I love, which I'll do for free, by the way, on stage in front of prospective, students or current students or teachers, alumni, or whoever who may need my services. So that's an extra plus. And I'm getting paid to talk to them. So, okay, well, I'm going to get $1,000 just for going on stage and speaking to them for an hour. So that's $1,000 an hour. That's probably more than a lot of people are making a week, right? Because that averages out to $52,000 if you're making $1,000 a week, right? So that's way above, minimum wage, way above the average salary of, I think, a person in the U.S., which is, it's a lot of money. So let's say I'm making $1,000 per speaking engagement, and I'm telling people about my business and telling people that I'm local and what I've done, maybe show a couple of pictures, tell them my website, right? If I'm talking to an audience of, let's say, 200 to 500 people, and those 200 to 500 people tell 2 people each, right? 1,500 people, 600 to 1,500 people. Let's say that 1,500 people are hearing my spiel, either secondhand or firsthand, and they know my website. I've already made $1,000 just for talking for an hour, and my service alone, service fee is $100. All right, so let's say just 10% of that actually give me a call. It's 150 people just in service. I haven't fixed anything yet. I haven't gotten any repeat business. That's a good perk. That's a excellent perk. That's something that you may want to get into. That's something that may get you over the hump and becoming an expert in your field. I hope it does, because that money is real and the opportunity is also. Number 4. Number 4 is to acknowledge how you can help. So you being an expert is not just to pad your pockets. You being an expert is going to allow you to start a business. It's going to allow you to help friends and family. It's going to allow you to reach out to young people who are just like you, aspiring people who had nobody to look at. And now you're that person to look at. You can be the aspiration to somebody who was like, yo, I don't see anybody who looks like me doing what it is I want to do. Is it even possible? And now you make it possible. You make it real. You make it feel as if it's not only possible, but just a matter of time. Like he did it. He went to my school, or he came to my school and told me that not only can I do it, I can do it better than him. These are some of the mistakes he made that I shouldn't make. And now you have that little, edge on this person who's helping you while helping themselves, right? Go back to the person on stage that's helping, giving back. And it's like, okay, how can I give back? I'm so grateful for my opportunity on my stage, my platform, that I can just go out and speak to some of these young people and tell them that they can do what it is they want to do. And I can actually steer them away from a couple of problems that maybe delayed my, success a year or two. I can take that away from them. So what if I can create 10, 15 me's a year? What can that do? And then they create 10 to 15 thems a year, 10 years from now, just because of me. How good would that feel? That would be excellent. And that would be because of you giving back. That will be because of you not worrying about anybody else, focusing on you. That'll be you picking a subject, picking a skill, picking an industry, and becoming an expert. That will be you, of course, enjoying the perks, and you deserve it because you took the time to obsess over something and become an expert. That will be you actually giving back and feeling great about it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's Drills.com. This was the top 4 ways to become an expert. Drills Talk, episode 28. Check this out. It's Drills.